test things here. Oh, there we go. Ooh, here, I'll just turn that off. Is that working? Or is there, if anybody's on here, can they tell me, is that working, or is there something wrong with this? Let me see if I can pull up chat here, see if anybody. I put it in there, but I guess when you change the look of it, it goes away. You know what? I'm having such a weird time with this tonight. I'm gonna while I'm doing this live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and use this as a test phase for, like I said, uh, everything is looking good out there. The trails are really good. I'm getting a lot of reports of how great it is. I'm not sure why there's two cameras on here, but let's see. Let's take one of them off of there. Let's get rid of. And it doesn't even show me which one to get rid of. Let's get rid of this one. Which camera is this? It's this camera. All right. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm still learning this program. Doing the best I can. If anybody's ever tried to do some of this YouTube streaming stuff, it seems like it looks so easy because everybody's running around and you've got all these people and they've got 2 or 3 people in the background that you don't even see. And maybe someday we'll get to that, but right now it's just me. So I wanted to check something out. I just want to see. I'm pulling up YouTube on a different screen just to see what it looks like, what people are seeing, and what. All right. So, all right. So it's basically the same thing I'm seeing. And I don't know why it's. But like I said, get over to Petoskey, check the breakfast out. Petoskey Trails, Indian River Trails, all that stuff was groomed in the last couple of days, so everything's looking good. It's like I said, you can't complain about the conditions this year. There might be some issues getting across some roads or anything like that, but other than that, it is fantastic. One thing I wanted to pull up here, and I hope nothing's changed, but I was checking the weather like every day, and I just didn't have a chance to do it. One of the reasons is because I already saw what I wanted to see, so I didn't want to keep looking at it and see it change and be upset. So I just kind of left it alone. Let me check something out here. So right now it's 27 degrees. They're calling for 1 to 3 inches of snow, possibly. Roads could be slippery. Tomorrow, a snow squall in the morning, accumulating a coat to an inch. So, and then they're also predicting later on storm total would be 3 to 6 inches. So hopefully that happens. Let me check out the daily here. Just look at. I like it better on my phone because I can look out like 30 days in advance. But let's see. I'll be heading that way next week, and all the temps look really good. Yeah, so in the 20s. Let's see what the nighttime lows are, because that's what's really been kind of brutal lately. It's been dropping below zero, and I've talked to a few people that were out in it, and they said that that was kind of tough, riding back because it started getting real cold really quick. Same thing, Jordan Valley, Chandler Hill, all that down in there. They're reporting that they're going out and grooming. I was getting this good to fair overall. I don't usually put perfect on there because I don't want to say perfect and have you guys go out there and you start riding it and then you come back and tell me, man, you were wrong. All reports are showing that they're out there running around doing everything, so it looks good. You really can't complain too much if you're out there riding it. And the snow in the base is better than it's been in a long time. Uh, that's kind of funny. This little map up here, it's showing Jordan Valley, but it's not in the right place. I don't think. I mean, it's close, but it looks like it's actually on the on the right side of 75 going, basically on the eastern side of 75, which it isn't. It'd be on the western side of 75. But yeah, it's about as close as it gets using this kind of different things here. Um, I kept this in here, Drummond Island report. It's still really nice up there, but the water holes are solid. It's rideable, and but a few spots are have some issues. And the reason I kept that in there is because there's quite a few people reporting that they're going over and trying to do the ice bridge. And I keep this in here because I don't want people to make that trip and make the mistake of getting all the way up there and finding out they can't go across. Um, Eastern UP conditions. And the reason I say that, I do that because if you're going to go across there, let me before I get to the UP conditions, if you're going to go across there to Canada, you have to have a Michigan enhanced driver's license or Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Washington. Basically, the states that kind of border. That's the only ones I got. There's, some of the other ones that border did not register, so it's not really. I really don't know what they, why the other states don't have it, or maybe they do, and it's just something else you got to, look into. I'm just curious here. I want to play something. All right, cool. So I just wanted to check and make sure that my microphone. I bought a new microphone because there was some issues the other night. I had a microphone that kind of stuck up over here. I didn't like that because one, it was the arm on it was having all kinds of issues and kept falling over and doing some crazy stuff. I mean, you couldn't see it, but I could, and it was just annoying. So, like I said, if you have one of these enhanced driver's license, then you can go across the border to Canada no problem on a snowmobile. Of course, once you get over there, you're probably going to have to do some stuff. You need to download the Customs Border Patrol. I'm sorry, yes, the Customs and Border Patrol app. It's called Roam. You need to download that because it helps you. You can fill everything out and do everything online without actually having to um, go to like a border crossing or meet the border patrol. Now, with that said, you're going to fill everything out. You're going to put on everything in there about your snowmobile, what you're taking, who you're going with, your where you plan on. Kind of, it gets a whole itinerary of where you plan on going, and you may have to do a FaceTime um, conference with a border patrol agent. So just keep that in mind. This is not something where you're just going to wake up in the morning and jump on your snowmobile and run across there. This you have to plan ahead. So, and if you don't have these driver's license, you have to go ahead and put in for. Uh, you have to go ahead and get a passport. Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted to do this. I don't have my passport, so it's not going to happen. Boo-hoo. Oh well. Let's see here. Drummond Island, we covered that. Let's go back up here let's go to the Eastern UP. So the Eastern UP, everything I'm seeing says the conditions are really good up there. Everybody's running around. Seeing lots and lots of pictures. People are going over to the island. You can get to Mackinac Island really easy right now. It doesn't look like the video that I saw, and I'm going to play some video here in a few minutes. The video that I saw does not look like they were having any issues getting across there. And usually, sometimes when you're going across there, it gets really bumpy in some areas. I didn't see that. Now, I didn't get video all the way up to the shore, and that's usually where it gets pretty kind of sketchy going up to the shore. So, um, but I'll see if I can get some more information. Let's see. So I had a whole thing where I was going to talk about rider fatigue and some different things to avoid, but unfortunately, that did not. The file became corrupted. It did not upload, and it was a whole problem. So, what I'm going to do now. See, I wish there was a way to set these up before I had to sit there and let you guys look at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up at the blank screen. Just shows me. And let's see here. Let's look at some images. So, like I said, I think I already covered this. If I didn't, I apologize. But the blind ride was yesterday. Um, we had more snowmobiles there than they've had in the past. It was really good stuff. They had more snowmobiles there. They had, sorry, I'm doing two things at once here. I'm in the wrong folder. They had more people there than they've had in the last couple years, and overall, it was just a great turnout. Oh, this is okay. So I'm gonna have to come back and play the movies or the videos, and I wanted to play all of them, but it's not gonna. It's gonna make me pick each one. Huh? That's not fun. Um, and it has to process for a second, so that's yeah, I don't like that. I have to pull up more of them. So I think the final total was somewhere around 16 snowmobiles were there. 16 snowmobiles were there. They were able to take people around 3 times. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you know the Indian River Loop, it is a decent sized loop. Um, Usually they don't get that many times around, so that was exceptional. And having this many snowmobiles was great. Next year, let's shoot for twice as many. Yeah, that would be nice. But like I said, I think the final count was 16. I never got a count of how many people were actually there and how many people got to take advantage of it. But there was quite a few people there, and I'll get into some more images that actually show when they went and they had lunch and everything. This is at the Eagles right there on the Straits Highway. They met in the parking lot, and it's nice when they're able to do this because the roads were decent, so they could actually ride down the roads to get to the trails. But they're able to go inside the Eagles and change clothes and get everybody ready for the ride. Not really sure. I'm sitting here watching it on two different screens here, so I'm just curious what happens. I don't really pay attention to what happens on YouTube. So I don't really know what and I know there's a lag behind, so I'm way out there. Somebody's puppy dog was there, made a little appearance. This is inside the Eagles Club. I need to find a way and they served lunch, so that was pretty good. I didn't get a chance to go up there and try it out, but from what I understand, lunch was pretty good, and there was plenty of volunteers to help with that. That was inside the Eagles. I wish there was a way to just do like a slideshow. I can figure that out because now I'm starting to lose my spot here. Here, let's make these icons so I can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, that didn't help. There's puppy dog. Well, if I show the same picture over and over again, I apologize, but this thing's is not very friendly as far as looking at what I'm doing. I probably should have just done screen share and pulled up. Maybe that's what I'll do here. Hold on one second. Let's pull up the show. Let's do this. And I believe there is a way for me to I thought there was. I know there's a way for me to I'm still look at that. That's a little bit better. Can I no. So let's try that. Let's try that so I can go back and forth and look at some different things. Let's look at screen share. Let's look at the window. And let's go over here and look at this. It pulls up. So now I got to look away from the camera. Sorry about that, but eventually I'll have more than one camera. I'm not sure what just happened. It did not like that. So I did this on accident earlier, and now I can't even do it on purpose. Well, there we go. That's a little bit better. I don't know. Like I said, you see people, they got, you know, they got a nice lunch there. People were out running around. Let's see. Somebody's walking around, you can't see it. No, I'm just kidding there. I think he's looking for somebody. So I don't know if the same people made it this time, but in the past, I know that when my dad is there, uh, I know when my dad is there, there's one of the guys he's taken around a few times will actually look for him and ask for him to take him around. So I don't know if he was there. I forgot to ask. All the snowmobiles got out there. Eagle's a nice place to hold this because they get out of the weather, they get in there, they get to have a good time, and like I said, and it looks like I'm playing some of the same pictures again. Sorry about that. I had some different ones. I got some video too that I'll pull up here in a minute. That let me go back to. It was a good one just a second ago. Hopefully, I'm not messing y'all up, but I thought this was a pretty good one. This shows them all, and they usually what they'll usually have is they'll have a of course, you know, somebody's taking them around, and then there's usually somebody following behind to help out. But like I said, they had so many snowmobiles, and they were I, they were able to get. I don't know. That was one thing I wanted to ask is like, did anybody have to wait there, or were they able to load everybody up? So I'll ask some more questions, get some more information, and I'll talk about this again because throughout the year I'd like to talk about this just to keep it fresh in everybody's mind. That way, um, next year maybe we can have a bigger turnout. Maybe we'll have some snowmobiles that don't even get used because there's just too many people. Um, yeah, it looks like I'm recycling some of the old ones. So let me back up here. I was trying to. There we go. Let's do that, and then I'm going to see if I can get the video. If I figure out where it's at here. Here we go. And let's go back over here. Uh, well, this doesn't. Oh, I see what it is. It's over here. It put it on a different screen here. So let's see one of the videos I got here. All right, you little. Huh. Okay, there it is. There it is. I like how it's so makes it impossible to move around. Here they go taking off. I like that red snowmobile there. That's pretty neat. I don't know what that is. Oh, there's one. I don't know if that's. I think that was mine. The gold one that just went by, and then there's one like it. Oh man, look at that. Old Indy Trail, two up. So I want to go back. I want to look at this one snowmobile here. I'd like to know what is that? Is that a Polaris? Let's see, that's Skidoo, um, another Skidoo. That looks like a Polaris, I guess. Another Skidoo, a Skidoo, Polaris, Skidoo, 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 Arctic Cat, and a Polaris. Look at that. That's always fun. Like I said, oh, you know what? I didn't even count how many snowmobiles there were, so that's what I should have done right there, just so I'd know if that 16 count was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I guess they had 11. Maybe I was wrong. Where did I get 16 from? I don't even know. But it was a good time. You know, people had fun. Um, I've got another video here, so bear with me for 1 second here. Let's pull up this video here. See where this is at. This is this is the at the mouth of the trail heading back. So this they went out the first one and now they're coming back down the they're coming back down the trail. And so this group here, they take them all over the place. They do all kinds of activities throughout the week. They go to the mountain, the ski mountain, and this is just one of their stops that they get to do. And somehow Indian Lakes got involved with them years ago, and every year this happens, same time every year, first week of February. Some years it has, you know, they've had some sketchy snow, but you know, knock on wood, the last 2 years it's been pretty good. All right, so let's do this. Let's did something here, and I expanded my oh, here we go. I must hit this button here. Okay. I expanded my screen and couldn't adjust it. Let's get that back up there. So overall, like I said, it was a good time. People had fun. They you know, they were able to take people around several times. And as you can see while we're looking at it, here's real-time conditions. Look at that, real-time conditions we can look at for what the Indian River trails look like. So pretty really good base. And this right here would be considered a high traffic area. There's a lot of traffic going in and out of here. It can get a little bumpy right in this area, but overall, uh, the trails hold up really well through Indian River. You know, not a lot of we don't get a lot of the moguls or you know however you want to call it there, but we don't get it doesn't generally get that bad. Now I remember riding years and years ago, and it would be terrible. I mean, I remember you just go down the trail and if, you know you just be sitting there doing this the whole time. Um, so it's kind of amusing to see some of that and remember how it was and what it was like to ride something like that where it was just up and down, and then to ride it now where you can get on there and you know average 30 to 40 maybe more miles an hour to go all the way out to Weber Lake and around the Indian River Trail. You get to you know to be able to experience that now versus what it was like years and years ago. It's just it's phenomenal. It's really nice. I want to do some other stuff. Go ahead and shameless plug here. So if you can, please go out, subscribe on YouTube, and hit that like button. You know, it'll let you know. You can hit the bell, and it'll let you know when I'm on and when I'm going live. Typically, I'm going to go live on Sunday nights, unless it's a holiday, This Sunday, I'm not gonna go live. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not gonna compete with the Super Bowl. I'm not even I can't even compete with, whoever's on right now. Uh, Generally, where I get most of my views is after this stream is over with, I cut it up into clips, and it goes out to different places, and that's where people see it. So, but either way, I'm gonna do it regardless of how many people are on here because I like giving out a trail report. When I get up to when I get up to Michigan, I'm going to do a trail report probably daily. Probably little 15-minute trail reports every night to let you know how things are going. I might even go out and do some of them from the trail. I wouldn't even say I might, I'm going to. I'm gonna do some of them from the trail. The videos that I take may or may not be loaded while I'm out there because, when you're out there on the trail in different places, it does not always give you good reception, so that's not gonna work. But what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I will go out there and give you different trail reports. I plan on being at the Petoskey breakfast at least 2 Sundays while I'm up there. That's the plan. I don't foresee that being a problem. Let me grab some of this water over here. I went to the dentist today and got a cleaning, and they put the fluoride on there, and now my teeth are, I'm getting a dry mouth. Again, you can follow me on Facebook, The Unplanned Adventure, Instagram, The Unplanned Adventure 98, TikTok, The Unplanned Adventure, and Rumble, The Unplanned Adventure. But good luck on Rumble finding me. I don't know what the goal is with Rumble, but it doesn't seem like they're in the business of getting out new content creators. I can find anybody else in the world, but usually they're bigger people that have been doing this for a long time. So all I'm gonna do is just keep going out there and posting stuff on there. People can watch it, but Facebook, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, that's where stuff instantaneously gets loaded. And I believe right now I'm live on all of those except for Instagram. Instagram does not at this time allow us to go live. Well, I say that, and then I'm looking up here. Let me look at this. Let me edit my channels and look. So right now we're live on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook. Yeah, Instagram. Instagram does not. I have to update the key, and it's a little weird. X doesn't allow me to do it on there unless I pay more money. TikTok, well, I thought I was on there, but it says I need to apply, and I've applied like twice and nothing's happening. So we're not on TikTok, but the good thing is when I get done with this stream, I can go into a section of this program and it automatically clips everything up. This will be one of this one. The only thing that'll be kind of fun is talking about the blind ride and showing that stuff. Other than that, the rest of this live chat is going to be kind of boring. Let me see here. Oh man, I went too far. I see. I had a lot of problems. I couldn't even make my end screen, so that's kind of messed up. But what we'll do here, let's check some stuff out here, just for fun. Oh, you know what? I was going to show you some pictures of. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to show you some pictures of. Let me see how this works because there's got to be a better way to do this. Um, Looking for okay, media placeholder, participant placeholder, video storage, presentation. So, all right. So if I do a presentation, I'm pretty sure I got to upload. Can I just upload a bunch of videos? Nope, not going to work. All right, that didn't work. Sorry. Let's try. So I guess the easiest way, sharing multiple screens, I don't want to do that. All right, so I got to go to replace, and then I want to do this screen. and then the screen went away from what I was actually looking at. That's great. Wanted to show these videos or these pictures. So try it again, guys. Sorry. S- Oh, I hit the cancel. That is that what I did? No, we did it again. Huh? Add to the stream. I'm I think I'm having some problems internet wise because let me go to this screen here, and I don't know why it keeps doing this. So today, okay, so here we go. So today, a group of them went out and they went across from St. Ignace to Mackinac Island. They did a little ride around there. I'm gonna try and scroll through these and see if it'll show them. Okay, cool. That's that. All right. I might have a little solution to the issue I was having. Not really sure why it has these other ones down here. I'll remove them. There's the Mackinac Bridge. So this right here, um, I'm assuming my little hand showing out here. There was people walking way, way out here towards the bridge, and I will say, how did I do that? Um, while this is probably pretty solid, I know there's a pretty good current that goes through here, and it takes a while for that to get really solid. I don't know if I would be out there that far away. Plus, if you fall in out here, it's you're probably not gonna make it back out. You know, it's just way. I've jumped in there in the summertime and and about walked on water because it was so cold. Another thing to keep in mind when you're out here riding and doing this, I've watched people take their snowmobiles and run across through these areas. It's such a good idea to stay where it's kinda designated where they want you riding because, I watched some people go across there and ride, and there's you see these rocks here? I that'll mess you up. Let's see here, and then, if you look at the lighthouse here, I believe that's open water going across there. It might not be, but I don't know. I know on this side of the island, I have seen open water before when it's cold enough for us to go across, so, um oh, here we go, we got a video, let's see if this video comes up. Yeah, I don't wanna so if you didn't know and you ever wondered how they get their groceries and stuff, that's how it's done. UPS is delivered by, UPS and FedEx is delivered by horses, and that's all year round, but, it's going on this time of year, it's going on right now, yep, right with the snowmobiles are out there and the horses are walking right along with them, and you can go up there and ride around, and they'll tell you all the different horses that they have because there's different horses, and they're bred for different reasons, and at first, you would think, "Okay, it's new," I don't see the difference until you see one of them next to the other one, and you'll see the difference. They have I mean, there's bigger horses that they're meant just to pull certain, carriages, and some of them are meant to take people around, and you really tell the difference. Not sure where this is at. I don't even remember this. Huh. Okay, so yes, it's confirmed. Open water on the other side, and let me add this chat to the here. Hopefully, it doesn't change when I okay, what is your deal tonight here? There we go. I guess I was on the wrong one, and I'm looking at it. Let me put the chat up here so people can see. Um, yeah, that way people can see if any comments are made. All right, let's go. Here's another video. Let's see this video. See if it'll. I'm not playing the sound because I always have issues with the when I do that. There's a lot of background. All right, there's Ray looking at his phone. There goes the horses. It looks like they might be. Did they? Let me play this back a little bit. Oh, wrong one. Did they stop at the Mustang Lounge? Is that where they were stopping? I can't tell. I don't think so. I don't remember that purple house there, but and Mustang Lounge is more on a hill, so I don't think it is. Let's see. Here's a video. It's not playing it. All right, here we go. Here's one. So you can see the Christmas trees are out there, and actually this is actually really bumpy. This is not as smooth as I thought it was. Huh? Yeah, that might be a little bit of a bumpy ride going across there. I was looking to see. I think that's all the pictures I got for that. But it's pretty good. As you can see, there's snowmobiles all through there, and they're stretched all the way across. So this is your chance. Go check it out. Go over to the island. You won't get a it doesn't happen every year, and it is fun to be able to go over there and just ride around and see things that normally there's no vehicles on that island, and you'd be walking or riding a bicycle or on a carriage. Instead, you can go anywhere you want within reason. You got to stay on the paths, but you can go ride all over the island and check some stuff out. Let's see here. Oh man, I'm really disappointed that some of that stuff. So it's only smooth on the St. Ignace side. All right. Was it slow going across there? Did you have to take your time? As far as I mean, most of it was it a slow process? Let's see. I don't know how long it takes for the chat stuff to come through. I'm gonna have to listen to this later to find out if my microphone's any better. I went out and bought a microphone just to do this kind of stuff. It's a goofy, yeah, so very slow. It's a goofy looking microphone, but it was cheaper than most of them. I could have got one of those gamer ones. I don't really know what the difference things are here. Hold on, maybe I'm messing things up. I don't know why you would want it to. I don't know. Just leave it the way it is. Hopefully, it doesn't sound bad. Yeah, I wanted to do a whole another segment, but um I'll save it for like I said, I won't be on Sunday. I plan on streaming Monday, and then I will stream next Thursday, but Thursday will be a decent, um, somewhat clear. Somewhat. I'm reading the chat as I say that. So Thursday will be a quick one. I will cover some different things. I want to cover some safety stuff, cover some stuff that's going on for the weekend, and then I will be back on Saturday. Saturday, I'm gonna actually do a little mini live stream, and like I said, I'll be doing a mini live stream all that week. Every chance I get, I'm gonna try and do some stuff. I'm gonna pack up all this equipment with me, some of it anyway, and take it with me and do some different things. When I went up to Michigan, I didn't get a chance to really do any live streams, mainly because there was 100 things I wanted to do, and I just didn't get to it. But I'm gonna have a make it a point to do some live streams, talk about some different areas. Um, Comment. I'm gonna take some video during the day, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna comment on those different videos and play them and do stuff like that before I cut them up. Because it's just I don't ever get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to do that last time. Um, Matter of fact, I have a bunch of video on here, and I have not even gotten into it too much. Let's see here. Let me let me just give you an idea here. I got a folder. Let me see if I can find it. Unused. Here we go. Unused videos. Let's see what I got here. So this is kind of interesting stuff here. Let's see what pops up here. Oh, it's upside down. Are you kidding me? All right, I'm gonna have to fix that. Um, that, that's Burr Lake way back in the day. Let me see. Are all these gonna be like? Um, I'd rather not tell you where that's at. These are some pictures of Germany that my grandmother had taken. So let's go back here. This is a. Let's see if this comes up. This is Tequanman Falls in the wintertime. It's kind of a neat thing to go check out. Um, that wasn't a very good video, but you get the idea. Yeah, the water runs backwards in the wintertime. No, I wouldn't go walking around there. It gets solid, but that's moving water, so I'd be a little leery there. Let's see here. Let's pull up. I was looking to see. They're not on here. I was looking for the videos. Um, well, that's just upsetting because that's not pulling up the stuff I had there. This is a ride in Newberry. We just went up there, rode around. If you can go up there and do the Crazy Eight is what they call them. If you can go up there and check that out, that's a fun ride. Um, I had somebody asking about this the other day, how to get to under the bridge. Once you get up to Mackinac Island, Mackinac City, it's pretty self-explanatory. There are a couple places because he was concerned. He was concerned as to where he would go and ride. Just pay attention to where you're riding and make sure that you are not riding where you're not supposed to, and it's usually marked. So just make sure that you're checking that stuff out. Um, let's see here. Yeah, this isn't very good. This isn't a very good folder. I thought there was more stuff in here. I have to I'll have to go back and check some stuff out. Figure out where all my stuff is because I keep moving it around, and then I'm not very organized yet for some reason. Um, yeah, so I'll pull those up. I've got a bunch of videos. I need to just get them out and start doing commentary on those videos and just discussing where I'm at, what I'm doing, and let's see. Oh, what is this? Got some. Oh, these are. This is when the weather started getting kind of kind of sketchy back in December, and then this is just me making different GoPro videos. Here, let's see what some of these are. Let's see what's going on. Um, I don't know why I'm over here doing that, I gotta do it over here. Let's see what let's see what comes up. Why is it uh yes, whatever. Let's press that. All right, where is this? This is the Indian River Loop. This is right before you get to Weber Lake, where it connects to either go north or south on the Indian River Loop. So heading to Weber Lake here. Let's see. Let's see. This says February 22nd of 2023. I'm not going too fast. I think when did I get this snowmobile? Did I get this? I think I think I just bought this snowmobile. I think this is one of the first rides when I got this. So I can't go but so fast anyway. I have to let it do its break in time. Go down here to Weber Lake, check things out. So I remember this was always fun as a kid because you're riding down through here, and then, you're on the back of one, or you might get lucky enough at that time to ride one, and it was just fun because you're of course we're going a lot slower, but then you come down here to this opening. If you look to the left there, you can actually see this isn't a 360 camera, so I can't show you that. But you'd look over to the left and you'd start seeing Weber Lake. And you're thinking, "Oh man, that's awesome, Weber Lake." I think this is well. It says this was taken at 4:30 in the afternoon on February 23rd, but I kind of wonder if this is when um, we were going to the breakfast um, over at Petoskey that year. Let me pull out my handy dandy little 2023 February. Oh, that was a Thursday. 2024, I think, is when it got really crappy. Um, I went up there, ended up doing my floors. So this is what are they? Is this Fireline Road? I think is what they call it. Fireline Road. So if you go to the left there, when I turn right, you go across the street there, and that's Springvale, and you you can hit the Wolverine Trail and take that all the way to Perry Road. I think I'm going to the Petoskey. Let's see if it lasts long enough. I think I'm going to the Petoskey Snowmobile Club here, and it's pretty good. You can see it almost looks like somebody was driving a truck through here. This is a fun little stretch of trail because you get these nice little roads. I mean, nice little hills. You kind of go up over this one, and you go up over the next one. Boy, it's tough to watch this video though. I can't. I don't know what you do about that. I guess it was kind of bumpy that day. Maybe that's why I'm going a little faster. Let's see if we get down here, and we'll head to the right. I think. I don't know if that's what I'm heading. If I'm going to Petoskey, up, I'm going right on by it. So I'm not. I'm going right on by it. So we must be doing the. We must be going heading towards Springbrook and doing that whole loop over that way. But it's definitely a little rougher. You can tell. Just and this camera is mounted on my helmet, so it's not as I don't know. I've got a mount now that goes on my handlebar, and then I've just bought a new mount that's going to go on the back of it, and I can't wait to put the 360 on there just to see because it's going to look like I got a drone following me. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit and see what we got here. little self-editing. This is a 25-minute video, and, alright, so I took a left, I'm heading over towards, Springbrook that way, towards Chandler Hill Trails. So if you've watched any of my YouTube videos and you've seen where I'm shooting through the trees, that's over in this area right here. I just when I had my 1200 out one day, and I mean the trees look pretty good right now, but I showed up in this little area, and the trees look just amazing. I was out there riding. It snowed recently, and I thought, man, I'm gonna go shoot through there, and I had to take a video. I can't remember how. I think I had a little GoPro because I had a cheap GoPro. Um, the first one was just one of those little. I don't even know what they were. I don't know if it's GoPro threes or something like that. It was just a little cube, and then and so now I've got a few more, and my favorite one is the 360. The 360 is just is awesome. I can't wait to get some more shots with that. I even bought some extra batteries. I got to check and see if they're working. Um, but I'm looking forward to be able to use this. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Anybody else about to lose it here? This looks kind of, and I don't know. I don't see my hand moving too much. Okay, so this is oh shoot, is this Springvale? I always forget the road names. Um, I think it is. I think this is over there, but this is heading to Springbrook. I'm gonna head down here to this stop sign, go through the stop sign, and this part of the trail, um, you jot over to that other corner there, and you kinda go through that little field. It's fun because there's a little bump in that field, and you kinda get kinda jump it a little bit and see if I don't know if I did it or not. Like I said, I think this is one of the first rides I had on the snowmobile, so I was taking it fairly easy. Let's see. That bump is probably right. Yeah, it doesn't look like I stood up or anything. It doesn't look like I really did anything, so I must have been really taking it easy. You get back down on this road here just for a brief second, and then you take a right and you head into the woods. Uh, I wish I would look backwards because I'm pretty sure I had uh, pretty sure Dale was riding with me, and we were doing this, but I can't imagine I'm out here by myself. Huh. See if I can speed it up just a little bit. All right, I didn't see anybody with me here. I didn't see myself look back at all. We'll run through these woods here. So this little area right here, you get to, you start heading towards. It loops back around to Petoskey, comes up that way, but it also you can take it down and hit Jordan Valley, Chandler Hill, and all of that. I think we're going to run out of film here before too long. Yeah, I only got a couple more minutes of this. So I doubt we make it that far. I don't know if it was rough or actually, if you look at it, if I look at the trail a little bit, you can kind of tell it must have been a little rough there. It almost looks like it's fresh snow. Only a few snowmobiles have gone through there. This is a nice trail because it takes you all around. Um, it takes you all around, and you get to. Huh? Did I freeze? No, I'm okay. I see. I'm moving now. Let me see what camera's on here because this is. It almost looks like I'm freezing all the time. I got back on that virtual camera. Nope. This is like I said. This is a nice little trail. It winds around, goes up and down through some hills. Okay, so right there, if you would have taken a left, that's the old Springbrook Golf Course trail. Unfortunately, Springbrook Golf Course doesn't open up anymore in the wintertime, so we're actually making pretty good. I guess I missed the little T where it goes down to um, the Jordan Valley area. All right, so I'm stopping. Let's see. Oh, there's somebody with me. All right, pretty sure that's Dale. What's he doing? Is he riding Austin Snowmobile? Looks like it. Oh no, we got a whole group of us. Pretty sure that's Kim right there. No, that's not Kim. Oh, that's Cole. All right, Cole. So Austin must be next to me. And so I was just being a jerk. I took off and left everybody. And then it stops right there on that. That's hilarious. I don't know who else is sitting in the background there. Oh, and it just restarted. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. That was. Oh, okay. So it looks like it. Is this the same one? Or does every video start with me putting my gloves on? Yeah, it's the same one. So that was 22. So is there a 23? Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's. Oh, here's one. How long is this one? This is January of 20. So I must have got this thing in this snowmobile in maybe I got it in 22. I have to look back and see. Let me see here. All right, so this is the video before that video, and it looks like we're at the gas station. Or no, we're at Thirsty Sturgeon. Okay, here we go. Thirsty Sturgeon. Who's here? There's Cole. He wants me to fix his stuff. Here, I'm gonna fix that so hopefully it'll be stable. Yeah, I'm kind of making it go a little bit faster. I just want to see. All right, looks like I don't know if that's two people sitting next to each other, or if I don't know if that's Kim and Peggy sitting next to each other, or one of them has somebody on their sled. I can't remember who was on this trip. All right, here's the railroad. We're going down the railroad grade. This is south of Indian River. It looks like we're heading back towards Indian River. So leaving Thirsty Sturgeon. And this was about an hour, according to the timestamp, an hour before we did the last one. So it must have just been the camera. It looks rough. I can't. I mean, the railroad bed gets rough, but I can't believe it's that bad. Let's speed this up a little bit. Hopefully, I'm not running any stop signs. Don't get mad at me. And those of you wondering, that's an 850 E-Tech Enduro. It is so much fun to ride. And I have rode a 900 turbo. I've done that too, an enduro, and it's I don't see a whole big difference between the 2. I've never raced one, so I don't know if one which one's faster. Doesn't really matter. I know how fast this one goes, and it goes plenty fast enough. Man, that video is tough to watch there. Ugh, sorry. Hopefully alright, where we at here? Is that looks like White Road? Maybe it could be Rondo. Oh, here we go. We got some snowmobilers coming up here, and he's standing up. Yeah. I don't really know, so let's talk about that standing up versus sitting down stuff. Um, I don't really know what the advantage is to stand up. I stand up when it gets rough or does some other stuff, but, um, I don't I don't like standing up the whole time. I don't know what the point of that would be. I watch people do it. I've seen people do it and they're, flying, and I just to me, I feel more stable when I'm down and I can you know, kinda, put my body, on the sled and kinda do some, and I'm going especially when I'm going around a corner, and I can get down and I kinda lean into it. So, I don't know. I don't know how you would, do that and keep your balance and everything, and you don't do it on a motorcycle. You don't ride down the street on a motorcycle standing up. So, I don't know, guys. That's just my personal preference as far as I'd rather sit down, and especially when I'm going fast, I like to kinda get into the corners and stuff. So, um, I know way back when, most of us would ride with one knee in the seat. So you didn't really stand up, but you had a knee in the seat, and you were kind of and that was just because most of those sleds didn't have that much suspension, and the suspension that it did have was it wasn't doing a whole lot, especially with the like I said before, most of the riding was just up and down, up and down, up and down. So it was kind of a it was kind of tough to be able to just sit there like that. Um, one thing, and I mean, this sled also has air ride system and all that stuff, so it's a really good ride. I hit a button, and if it's rough, I hit a button, it goes up, the back end goes up and gives me more suspension. If it's smooth trails, I can knock it down and kind of get speed. And if I'm having trouble, maybe my sled's darting a little bit much or the front end's not digging in as well, I can put up the suspension in the back and kind of force more weight in the front, and so it's all that stuff. It's I mean it's really nice. So kind of interested in that. So that Lynx has the adaptive suspension, and I don't really know what that you know. I'm assuming it's close to the air ride system. It just has some way of knowing you're on some nasty stuff or just adjust over time. I don't know what that. I'd have to research some more of that, but I've heard about it a couple times and wondered, what is that? And I guess there's a Polaris out there that has that adaptive um, stuff too. So if it is that great, it's probably going to make its way over into the Skidoo lineup because they're using it's the same stuff. Let's see here. Let's speed this up just a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Look at the conditions though. Oof. I mean, it's nice, but you can tell right in there, boom, got some gravel. So this wasn't the worst conditions, but it probably it's definitely not as good as it is now. Now it is just is amazing. Oh, I think this is White Road. Yep, White Road. So I gotta remember when I'm wearing one of these on my helmet, I need to turn around so I can catch them coming up the trail. That's pretty good snow though, because I mean, this road's not bare or anything. So what they're doing right now is I usually go and stop at the stop sign and then wave everybody through just to avoid the idea that, somebody might the carbides might dig in or something else, or somebody spinning their track or, just to kinda get us across the road. Some of the busier intersections, it's easier to do this just because I can stand up and watch for everybody and we can try and get across as soon as possible and avoid, you know, getting stuck halfway on the other side of the road doing a bunch of stuff like that. Talk about hand signals. I prefer the first person to put their hand up and maybe the last one, but really just the first one so we can kinda know, hey, and if you're by yourself, then you don't really need to do anything. I saw a debate earlier because everybody's buying they're buying those lights and putting them on there, and that's great, but they're like 165 bucks a piece. Uh, I guess if you could designate someone to be the first one and designate someone to be the last one in the group, then that would be great because they could always be that, and you don't have to buy them for everybody. Um, but what I don't like to see is the guys that stick their hands up and try and, give me the single of how many people are on that, or how many people are riding. They'll try and show me their hand, how many people are riding with them, and I don't need to know. I don't if you're the 3rd person in there, I don't need to know that there's 2 more people behind you. Just keep going. The first guy put his hands up, I'm already expecting more people, so that's all we need. And the last person, if you wanna put your hand up, great. That tells me that that should be the end of it, but I also look at it like you stick your hand up and then there's a group behind you, eh, doesn't really matter. Just that's my personal preference to that. But if you really wanna do it, first and the last. That's it. First and the last. The people in between, just keep your hands on the snowmobile. I don't need you to lean over and whisper in my ear how many people are in your group. And it's happened. I don't know if I have any video, but it's happened so many times where people are trying to stick up how many people they have in their group, and it's like they're gonna run over and reach out and touch me. So we left the Thirsty Sturgeon. We must have decided that we're just gonna do the Petoskey loop, and that's because that's what I got video of, and unfortunately, it died right there at Petoskey. To be honest with you, I'm surprised it got this much video. This might have been my GoPro 11. That first GoPro I had, that thing didn't last. Hey, look at this guy. He's gonna get some stuff off the trail. You're my hero. That's some big wood. All right. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, am I gonna lift that one? Ooh, I don't think so. Well, all right, cool. I don't even remember doing this. Well, that was not. I shouldn't have filmed that. Now, okay, cool. I don't know why I didn't just throw it that way. But, well, the crazy thing is, somebody cut that down and left it on the trail. What a jerk! Oh, looks like my camera froze. I don't know how long ago it froze, but I tell you, my internet is just. Oh, that was the end of that video. Or did I hit something? No, that wasn't the end of my video. What the hell? Let's go back here. Oh, must have automatically loaded. Oh, so this is a yeah, this is 16. What was 16? Let me look at that one. 16 was February 22nd at 6:37 a.m. Huh. I can't believe I was out there that early. This 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 must have been messed up. Well, I got to save some more video. This was kind of fun. Went a little bit further, commented on some different videos. Uh, the cool thing is, make some good clips because it has me talking. So we'll see how that works out. Maybe that'll help me get my viewership hours up on my YouTube channel. Other than that, uh, thanks for watching. It's been fun. I'll be back on Monday. We'll talk about some different things. We'll talk about what went on this weekend, cover the different rides people might have done, and hopefully some more people get on here and let's just talk about some different areas. I'd like to talk to somebody from maybe the New York area. I'd like to hear about those trails. But if you can't, so again, have fun, ride safe, and have yourself an unplanned adventure. You guys have a nice night.